Peter Parker Spider-Man has been around since the 1960s, and in the last 60 plus years, it seems like his character is slowly getting replaced by the new and improved Miles Morales.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's cooler, dude. I feel like we've gotten to that point where we can acknowledge it.
He's cooler, but I will say, I don't think he should be. Like, they should be on the same level, but it just seems like the last couple decades of Spider-Man storytelling in the movies and video games and comic books has just been dog shit.
Yeah, it's just become really stale and not as interesting. Like, and none of that is Miles' fault. Try reading Amazing Spider-Man now, like, I dare you.
No, we can't. You just can't. Unless you want to be, like, angry or sad at everything in between.
Yeah, I know. Guys, I'm Thomas.
I'm Merlin.
Together, we're the Comic Lads.
And today, we're going to be discussing, is Miles Morales replacing Peter Parker as the mainline Spider-Man in both coolness and storytelling?
Yeah. But guys, before we get into it, question of the week. Which Spider-Man do you prefer? Peter Parker or Miles Morales?
Also, don't forget to like this video before we get into it, guys. It really helps us out as a small growing channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe, join the lads.
Become one of the lads.
In our ladhood. Let's get into it. Okay, dude, this is the thing, right?
Okay.
You know this about me. Peter Parker Spider-Man means so much to me. He is my favorite superhero since I was like, I don't even know, like 1 year old. Yeah, since I like knew what superheroes were.
Your eyes opened, bro.
Literally. It just seems like in the last 10 years specifically, Miles Morales has just been dominating.
Yeah, no, and like you said in the intro, partly because he's dope as hell. Everything that they come out with that includes Miles is just sick. But it's also because Marvel desperately wants us to hate Pete, bro.
No, they like, it's their mission. It's their freaking mission.
To hate any Peter Parker Spider-Man story, bro. Like, they're making him so lame in every medium.
Yeah. Speaking of dominating every mediums, I mean, most recently and most notably, the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh my god, dude.
You know, like, Spider-Man has so many different movies over the last 20 years, so many different appearances, but I think undeniably, Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie since, like, Spider-Man 2,
yeah,
I'd say.
It is, and, like, I would say the same for its sequel also. Two of the fucking craziest superhero bangers we've ever gotten.
And historically, it's crazy that a superhero movie even won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Best animated movie? That was a huge milestone in the superhero community.
It's massive. All that is due to how cool Miles is. Brian Michael Bendis struck gold when he created him, bro. He must be rolling in it.
He's like that freaking meme of Scrooge Duck or whatever. Scrooge McDuck diving into the freaking pile of money. Listen, like, there's no denying that the Tom Holland live-action trilogy made so much freaking money for Marvel.
For sure.
But I think now, especially given a few years to kind of like marinate with it,
they're mid.
They're extremely mid and lackluster. Yeah, you know what I mean? Going through the exact same arc, constantly questioning his identity and relation to if he can live up to Iron Man's legacy. I think it just ran its course way too much, and Spider-Verse came out at a time where it was like completely refreshing.
Yeah, and where we really needed some good, hard-hitting, like, white knuckle Spider-Man, you know? Like, Spider-Verse starts and I'm like, oh shit. This is crazy, you know?
It's almost interesting, too, because the art style for Spider-Verse was so unique and bold, and I feel like Miles Morales, at that point, being a smaller level character than Peter Parker Spider-Man, almost gave them the opportunity to be as bold as they were.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think they would have taken that risk for, like, a mainline Peter Parker animated movie.
Well, that's the main issue with Peter Parker Spider-Man, right? No matter what medium you adapt him into, Marvel higher-ups can't take their grubby hands off him. You know, like, they can't let you do anything interesting with his character.
Yeah, but with Into the Spider-Verse, they were most likely like, whatever. It's like the secondary Spider-Man. We'll let you have
That's
it.
literally what they did. They were like, oh yeah, we'll just let you make that movie over there. We don't really care. And then it was the best movie ever.
Yeah, especially after that movie, a lot of people were like, wait, hold up a second. And especially, it introduced Miles to so many people, too.
Yeah.
Before that, so many people, like, might have heard of him, like, you know, here and there from comic appearances or, like, video games or whatever. But Into the Spider-Verse was the first time where everyone was like, oh, shit. There's
This
another
guy's sick.
Spider-Man on the block.
Yeah, he's way cooler than the first one.
Yeah.
Like, it basically spawned an entire new animation genre in terms of animation styles.
Yeah.
Like, now when animated movies are greenlit, they're like, oh yeah, make it look like that Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
like
the
Ninja
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant- yeah.
That movie bangs.
And The Last Wish, Puss in Boots movie,
oh yeah,
has a really similar style.
all right, shall we talk about the games?
Yeah, it's not just the movies, dude. The games.
The games have made him so much cooler than Pete.
Yeah. I will say that it is a point of frustration for me, too. I feel like with the first Spider-Man PS4 game in 2018, they really got like a great, new, fresh, but also faithful representation of Peter Parker Spider-Man.
It was, emphasis on
But
was.
it was, exactly.
One of my favorite versions of Pete in any media.
Exactly. And then at the end of Spider-Man 2, he kind of just
He's
like...
a chump.
See you, chump.
No, literally. See ya, chump. He is a freaking chump, dude. And it's so much to the point where at the end of that game, the writers just decide to like piece him out of the story.
I feel like we gotta clarify this. Like, it's not the fault of Miles in any way. They are doing a lot of great work in all of these different mediums, specifically the games that we're talking about now, to elevate Miles and make him sick and put him in the spotlight. But I feel like they're also deliberately doing work to make Peter lamer. You know, I want them both to be sick.
I know.
want Pete to be like a fucking dork loser.
I don't know. And of course, we're referred to the fact that at the end of Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker decides to leave the mantle of Spider-Man to Miles Morales.
Like, temporarily for sure, but like he wants out, bro.
Yeah.
And he's 25.
He's 25 and he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna retire.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm
bro,
done.
you're at your peak. They just treat Spider-Man as like an old, like, schmuck.
Yeah, no, he's an old fogey, bro.
Yeah,
He's like a geezer.
oh my god. I like the opportunity it gives to Miles Morales, but it just fits with the theme of our video. Like, is Miles replacing him? Because in the games, for sure,
Yeah, for
it seems like
sure he is. Well, and also, like, maybe in the movies soon, too. You mentioned before we started recording, Sony greenlit a live-action Miles movie, too.
yeah, we could be seeing a new on-screen Spider-Man live-action Miles Morales in the next few years. Also on the subject of the games, in the Insomniac games, like, I love playing as Peter. You know, in 2018, it was groundbreaking to play as, like, this super fluid Peter Parker swing through the city, you know what I mean? It looks so awesome.
Yeah, but then they made the Miles game. It made me never want to play Spider-Man PS4 ever again.
I know. It, like, the swinging is so, like, creative. It's so much more stylized.
Fluid, I feel like you can go in literally, like, any direction.
And, like, they kind of remedied this with Spider-Man 2. Like, they added a lot more of that fluidity to Peter Parker's gameplay.
Yeah, they're both great to swing with.
But at the same time, it's like they needed the symbiote to justify a lot of that movement and, like, cool maneuverability.
They needed to give him these, like, crazy augments that he doesn't normally have to just keep up with Miles.
Yeah, and now at the end of that game, he has, you know, the anti-venom suit just to, like, justify his place in the gameplay for the next game.
Yeah, for them to be like, no, he's still cool.
Yeah, he
guys.
can do his own thing. Because, guys, Miles Morales has all of Peter Parker's powers.
Plus
and more.
like,
More cooler ones.
power.
I know. He has bioelectricity, invisibility.
Ridiculous. And you just showed me, I didn't know this, but like in the comics now, he's learned how to hone his bioelectricity to make like lightning swords.
Oh, it's so cool.
I'm like, what?
It's like some of the coolest images ever. He's constantly discovering new power sets in the comics. If anything, Peter should have his experience over Miles Morales.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Miles Morales' powers are getting to the point where they're so cool and so powerful that I think he would win in a 1v1.
Yeah, no, I think like okay. Like I feel like people are gonna lose it. But right now, 616, like Peter, where he's become like Spider Goblin and he's like losing it and his girls dumped him to be with Paul.
Yeah.
You know, I think Miles is washing him.
Definitely.
He's
Dude,
dry cleaning him, bro.
as soon as you're getting beat up by Tombstone, like,
Yeah.
fucking 30 years into your career as Spider-Man, well, in this universe, he doesn't age, but you know what I'm saying? All the experience that's come in the last 30 years of storytelling, you're not beating Miles!
You're not.
Well, now we're just doing, like, a Miles versus Peter video, but, like,
Which is not really the point of this video, but it just goes to show you, like, I think Miles can hold his own. Especially Insomniac Miles, bro. He's
it's
taking it.
over. He does beat him in the game! I just realized! He literally beats him in a boss fight in the game. And that's with, like, Peter not holding back and having, like, the corrupted symbiote.
Yeah, no,
mind.
he's like murderous.
So that's just another instance of Miles being better than Peter.
There's your confirmation, guys. In Across the Spider-Verse, bro, he washes all of them. 800 Spider-Men couldn't catch him.
All right, guys, but it's not just the movies or the video games.
Or like his cool powers.
Or the cool powers. We briefly touched on it, but in the mainline comics, his comics are just better than Peter's at this point.
Even if they're not like straight up better, they're not grueling to read. They have like a high-flying, fun, superheroics element to them, whereas Pete's just are kind of a huge downer.
The Miles Morales comics are kind of reminding me of what it felt like to read through the original Ultimate Spider-Man ring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it feels refreshing because you can still feel like you're growing with the character, you know what I mean? As you watch them become more experienced and deal with more interpersonal relationships with all the different heroes and civilian characters in their lives.
Yeah, and different villains too. Like, I love seeing Miles kind of get his first chance at like fighting a bunch of different villains that we've seen a million times.
Definitely, and they can do like new spin-offs off the different characters that are already established. Like, doesn't he have like a love interest fling thing with the Vulture's granddaughter?
Oh shit.
Yeah, her name is Starling. They have like a little fling, and it's super like, she's kind of like the Black Cat of his universe.
That's
you know what I mean?
Cool. That's sick.
So it's just like they're able to take these things from Peter Parker's universe and build off of them and create new and exciting characters. All that to say, dude, I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, is he replacing Peter Parker?
Like, for me, yeah.
Yeah?
You know, like, until they show me that they can have Pete and Miles both coexist and share the spotlight together without Pete being lamer and dumbed down and kind of a loser character, he is replacing Pete for me. A lot of this has to do with just like my
disdain.
I was literally gonna say my acute disdain for the Amazing Spider-Man comics in
recent years.
For sure. Like, I can't do it anymore.
Like, if you ask me right now, okay, who do you like gun to your head, who do you like more, Miles Morales or Peter Parker?
It's Pete.
It is Peter, just because like he has so much history and like it's all nostalgic attachment to a previous version of the character that is no longer present. Like, if we're comparing current 616 Peter to Miles,
it's Miles.
Miles is taking the cake, which like is annoying to say. Like, I should like them both equally.
Yes.
But there's such like a radical difference. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
Miles is so much cooler and more interesting in every way now, and it's a shame. And like we've been reiterating this entire video, it's not Miles's fault, and it's not Pete's fault. It's Marvel's fault. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments below. Is Miles Morales replacing Peter Parker as the mainline Spider-Man, or as your favorite Spider-Man?
Yeah, which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video.
Oh, you can never forget to like the video.
Definitely not. Scroll down and hit that little like button. It really helps us out.
Subscribe, become one of the lads, a fellow lad. But yeah, guys, that's it from us this week. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. We love you.
We love you dearly.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.